Good evening. This is Akashvani. I'm Anuja Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. Voting concludes peacefully for first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Mizoram. Chhattisgarh records over 71% voter turnout and Mizoram nearly 78%. Campaigning picks up for second phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Dalits, deprived, tribals and poor are the biggest beneficiaries of central government's welfare schemes. India moving towards massive investments in infrastructure to meet aspirations of its growing population, asserts Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. And in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, Afghanistan set a target of 292 runs for Australia in Mumbai. And now the news in detail. Voting concluded peacefully for the first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Mizoram. In Chhattisgarh, 20 out of 90 constituencies went to polls in first phase. Most of these constituencies were in Naxal-affected areas. Overall, 71.11% polling was registered in the state till reports last came in. 223 candidates, including 25 women, were in the fray. More from our correspondent.
In today's voting, the ballot has triumphed over the bullet. Despite the Maoist call for boycotting the elections, more than 70% of voters in highly Maoist-affected assembly constituencies like Bastar, Jagdalpur, Chitrakoot, Kondagaon, Keshkal, Kanker, Bhanu Pratappur, Antagad and Mohla Manpur exercised their franchise. In Kanker district, the Election Commission took an innovative step to ensure the active participation of all sections, including the third gender. Vikalp Shukla, Akashvani News, Raipur.
In the second and final phase, the remaining 70 seats will go to polls on the 17th of this month. In Mizoram, voting was held for all 40 assembly seats. Overall, 77.83% voter turnout was recorded in the state till reports last came in. 174 candidates were in the fray. Some of the prominent faces whose fate has been sealed in EVMs today are Chief Minister and MNF President Zoram Thanga, Deputy Chief Minister Taun Luia, Rajya Sabha MP K. Vanalal Wena, Chief Ministerial Candidate of the Zoram People's Movement Lal Duoma, and State BJP President Vanlal Muaka. Speaking exclusively to Akashvani News, Chief Electoral Officer Madhup Vyas said that the polling concluded peacefully.
The polling in Mizoram has been completed peacefully and without any untoward incident. I wish to thank all the polling parties, all the social organizations and social bodies like Mizoram People Forum for mobilizing the people and motivating them to come out to vote.
Our correspondent has the details.
Mizoram celebrated the Festival of Democracy with enthusiasm and serenity. Large number of voters were lining up since early morning to cast their votes. The young, the elderly, women and all sections of society participated in the election. Voting was held in 1,276 polling stations across the state. Gingangke, Akashvani News, Aizol.
Polling also took place for by-poll to Tapi Assembly seat in Mon district of Nagaland. A huge turnout of 96.25% was recorded in the constituency. The by-election was necessitated following the demise of the sitting MLA Nok Wang Nao on the 28th of August this year. Meanwhile, campaigning is gaining momentum for the second phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Madhya Pradesh, Telangana and Rajasthan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held multiple rallies across the poll-bound states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Telangana today. Mr. Modi said Dalits, deprived, tribals and poor are the biggest beneficiaries of the central government's welfare schemes.
ये एनडीए है, बीजेपी है, जो ओबीसी हितों का सबसे ज्यादा ध्यान रखती है, उन्हें सबसे ज्यादा प्रतिनिधित्व देती है। बीजेपी का हमेशा से ये प्रयास रहा है कि दलित, पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचित, पिछड़े, आदिवासी समुदाय को उचित प्रतिनिधित्व मिलता रहे।
The Prime Minister said the centre has made a 5-fold increase in the budget for the welfare of the tribal society. He said during 10 years of the BJP rule at the centre, the party stopped scams and served the public. BJP President JP Nadda and several BJP leaders including Jyotiraditya Scindia, Anurag Thakur and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held election rallies in Madhya Pradesh today for the party candidates. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister and senior BJP leader Anurag Singh Thakur has said that the BJP government has left no stone unturned in the all-round development of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Thakur was talking exclusively to Akashvani in Bhopal today.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने मध्य प्रदेश को बीमारू राज्य से निकालकर एक ऐसी गति दी जो चहुमुखी विकास मध्य प्रदेश का हुआ। सड़कों के निर्माण से लेकर सिंचाई योजनाओं के लगाने तक, कृषि में नंबर 1 बनाने से लेकर अब निवेश में भी एक अग्रणी राज्य बनाते हुए संपन्नता की और समृद्धि की ओर मध्य प्रदेश को ले जाने भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है।
From Congress, National President Mallikarjun Kharge and senior leaders Anand Sharma, Sachin Pilot, Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh held public meetings in the state today to woo the voters. BSP Chief Mayawati also held public meeting. Our correspondent has the details.
In Madhya Pradesh, while on one hand all the parties have put all their efforts to woo the voters, on the other hand the Election Commission teams have also increased their vigilance. As a result, 4 times the amount of cash and material has been seized in the state compared to the last assembly election. Preventive action has been taken so far against more than 1,60,000 persons of criminal tendencies. 7,673 complaints received through C-Vigil app have also been resolved. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
In an exclusive interview with Akashvani Bhopal correspondent, Chief Electoral Officer of Madhya Pradesh Anupam Rajan threw light on the arrangement made by the poll panel in the state for the upcoming elections.
सारी गतिविधि जो सारा काम है वो अपने निर्धारित समय के अनुसार चल रहा है, चाहे वो ट्रेनिंग हो, मतदान दलों का गठन हो, मशीन की व्यवस्था हो, स्ट्रांग रूम की स्थिति हो, काउंटिंग सेंटर का अरेंजमेंट हो। जबलपुर शहर के लगभग सारे बूथ को वो इको फ्रेंडली बूथ्स बना रहे हैं और अधिक से अधिक बूथ हम ग्रीन बूथ के रूप में परिवर्तित करेंगे। पिंक पोलिंग बूथ जहां चारों के चारों मतदान दल के जो हमारे कर्मचारी जो साथी हैं वो महिला होती हैं और वो मतदान केंद्र का संचालन करें, पूरी प्रक्रिया को अंजाम दें। उनकी अच्छी ट्रेनिंग हुई है और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि वो अत्यंत ही बेहतर ढंग से इस कार्य को संचालित करेंगे।
Our correspondent reports that after the Model Code of Conduct came into effect, more than 288 crore rupees have been seized. These include illicit liquor, narcotics, jewellery and cash. The voting for the 230-member Madhya Pradesh Legislative Assembly will be held in a single phase on the 17th of this month. In Rajasthan, 3,037 nomination papers were found valid after the scrutiny today. 392 papers were rejected. Last date for withdrawal of nominations is Thursday. Voting for all 200 assembly constituencies will be held on the 25th of this month. Meanwhile, BJP, Congress and other parties have geared up their election campaign. We have a report.
Union Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah addressed election meetings in Nama, Makrana and Parbatsar Assembly constituencies. He cornered the state government on corruption, paper leak and law and order. On the other hand, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot today launched 7 Guarantees Yatra of Congress after visiting various temples in Jaipur. Other parties including the Rashtriya Loktantrik Party and independent candidates have also started their election campaign. Jitendra Dwivedi, Akashvani News, Jaipur.
In Telangana, filing of nominations continues across all constituencies. Prominent candidates who filed nominations today include BJP leader E. Rajendra and P. Rajeshwar Reddy of BRS. 119-member state legislative assembly will go to polls on the 30th of this month. Counting of votes in all the 5 states will be taken up on 3rd of December. The Bihar government has decided to increase the quota of reservation in government services for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, extremely backward castes and backward caste to 65% in the state. The decision was taken in the state cabinet meeting chaired by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar this evening. The decision was taken in view of the increased population of these categories in the state, which has been reflected in Caste-Based Survey 2022. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal today said that India is moving towards massive investments in infrastructure to meet the aspirations of its growing population. Addressing the 4th edition of the ISA Steel Conclave 2023 held in New Delhi today, the minister acknowledged that steel sector is vital to achieving this goal with an aspiration to produce 300 million tons of steel annually by 2030. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and his Malaysian counterpart Dr. Zamri Abdul Qadir are co-chairing the 6th India-Malaysia Joint Commission meeting in New Delhi. The Joint Commission meeting will review the progress of enhanced strategic partnership in the area of political, defence, security, economic, trade and investment, health, science and technology, culture, tourism and people-to-people ties. In a social media post, Dr. Jaishankar said the 6th Joint Commission meeting will take forward India and Malaysia's enhanced strategic partnership. The government has issued an advisory to social media intermediaries to identify misinformation and deep fakes. The centre has asked social media intermediaries to ensure that due diligence is exercised and reasonable efforts are made to identify misinformation and deep fakes. The Ministry of Electronics and IT said such cases must be expeditiously actioned against, well within the time frame stipulated under the IT Rules 2021. The advisory stated that such content must be removed within 36 hours of reporting. The intermediaries were reminded that any failure to act as per the relevant provisions of the IT Act and rules would attract Rule 7 of the IT Rules 2021 and could render the organization liable to losing the protection available under Section 79(1) of the IT Act. Union Minister of State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ashwini Kumar Chaubey, today held a review meeting with Commission for Air Quality Management, Central Pollution Control Board and other officials of his ministry over air pollution situation in Delhi and NCR. Talking to reporters, Mr. Chaubey said that the Supreme Court's concern over the air pollution level is natural. He added that directions have already been issued regarding stubble burning. An 8-point action plan as per Stage 4 of the Graded Response Action Plan is already in force in the entire National Capital Region to prevent further deterioration of the air quality. Meanwhile, the Air Quality Index AQI in the National Capital was recorded at around 400 in the evening, which is in very poor category. On to sports. In ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, Afghanistan have set a target of 292 runs for Australia at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. In reply, Australia were 195 for 7 in 33.5 overs when reports last came in. Opting to bat after winning the toss, Afghanistan posted 291 for the loss of 5 wickets in stipulated 50 overs. Both teams have played 7 matches so far. Australia won 5 matches till now and will be assured a place in the semi-finals if they registered a win in today's match. Afghanistan, on the other hand, won 4 matches and has a chance to reach the semi-finals if they win their remaining matches against Australia and South Africa. The excitement at the ongoing 37th National Games in Goa is at its peak. Today, Maharashtra became the first team to cross the double century of medals in the Games. The 200th medal was won by Mansi Mohite in triathlon mixed relay, in which she clinched a yellow medal. Maharashtra continued to retain its first position in the medals tally, bagging a total of 203 medals, including 70 gold. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Voting concludes peacefully for first phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Mizoram. Chhattisgarh records over 71% voter turnout and Mizoram nearly 78%. Campaigning picks up for second phase of assembly elections in Chhattisgarh and single-phase polling in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Telangana. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Dalits, deprived, tribals and poor are the biggest beneficiaries of central government's welfare schemes. India moving towards massive investments in infrastructure to meet aspirations of its growing population, asserts Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. And in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, Afghanistan set a target of 292 runs for Australia in Mumbai. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.